Melbourne victory, and Sydney FC played out a spirited 2-2 draw on Sunday, seemingly confirming the makeup of the W League finals for 2018-19. With victory engaged in a three-way tussle for the Premier's plate, with Perth Glory and Brisbane Roar and Sydney FC desperately attempting to hold on to the last of the finals places, the 3 points on offer at Lakeside loomed as possibly season-defining for both sides. Glory's 5-1 defeat of Western Sydney on Thursday night and Roar's 4-1 demolition of Canberra United on Friday night meant that Victory, who had begun the round atop the W League table, began play in the third position in the table. The point secured against the Sky Blues restores Victory to the top of the W League table on goal difference and mathematically seals their place in the W League finals for the first time since 2014. Conversely, Sydney, though only a point behind Victory, entered Lakeside Stadium more worried about what hovered just behind them, defending three-time W League champion Melbourne City, their opponents in the final week of the season, only 2 points behind them entering the day. Though not mathematically secure in the top four, the point won by Sydney all but guarantees them a place in the W League finals, City needing secure a win by 5 goals in their meeting next week to overhaul them. Though Victory was able to create some promising moves forward in an even opening between the sides, it was Sydney that should have taken the lead after just 10 minutes of play. Advancing on goal after being played through by Amy Harrison, Matilda Chloe Lagarzo looked to cut back onto her right foot just inside the Victory penalty area, only to be clipped as she did so by defender Samantha Johnson, earning her side a penalty. Unfortunately for head coach Andy Jerk's side, Caitlin Ford was unable to secure her 10th goal of the season from the resulting spot kick, Victory keeper Casey Dumont making a relatively straightforward save to her left to maintain parity between the two sides. Lagarzo, who gave Victory fits throughout the opening 45 minutes, produced the next clear chance for her side in the 17th minute when she lashed a long-range effort just wide of the goals after once again combining with Harrison. Heel Nick would look to respond for her side in the 31st minute when she let a Tegan Allen throw-in run before launching an audacious, long-range attempt to chip Sydney keeper Trudy Burke but was unable to sneak her effort under the bar. Sydney, however, promptly marched up the other end of the field and won a free kick in a dangerous area when Ella Mastrantonio brought down Princess Abini just to the corner of the Victory penalty area. Play was briefly paused in the aftermath of the decision, after an uncount ailment struck down Sydney midfielder Natalie Tobin and eventually forced her replacement with Danielle Colaprico. The break in play failed to break the concentration of the Harboursiders, nonetheless, as although Savannah McCaskills was initially cleared by Victory, they could do nothing to stop Alana Kennedy pouncing on Princess Abini's long-range follow-up and hammering home on the half-volley to make it 1-0. Though both Laura Alloway and Ford would both have chances to find the back of the net for their sides as the half wound down, neither would be able to trouble the scorers. Alloway's header flying high and wide in the 37th minute and Ford's effort saved by Dumont in the 40th. Victory went agonizingly close to restoring the game to equilibrium in the 58th minute when Gielnik stormed down the right flank and put a dangerous ball into the Sydney 6-yard box, only to watch as the ball sailed just over the head of the rising Christine Nairn. Sydney once again responded quickly, however, and should have been awarded a penalty after Johnson, beaten for pace by Ford as they both pursued a pass behind the Victory lines from Abini, nudged the Sydney striker over before she could get a shot off. So, incensed with the decision was Ford's teammate McCaskill earned herself a yellow card in the immediate aftermath of the non-penalty call, her remonstrations with referee Casey ribald enough to cause the official to halt play and issue a yellow card for dissent. McCaskill's mood would only have worsened in the 68th minute when Victory drew the game back level after Dowie chipped the pass into the path of Gielnik down the right. Steadying herself, the Victory winger took a quick touch before thundering a half-volleyed effort beyond the reach of Burke and into the back of the net to make it 1-1. Alas for the hosts, that renewed sense of equivalence lasted mere seconds before Sydney retook the lead. Almost straight from the kickoff, a long ball laced forward by Kennedy found Lagarzo, who headed the ball back towards Ford running in support, who promptly headed the ball back into the path of Lagarzo. The Sydney attacker proceeded to chest the ball down before knocking a half volley of her own over the head of Dumont to restore the lead for the Harboursiders. The twists and turns in Albert Park were not quite done there, though, as Victory were able to respond 10 minutes later through their Englishman Talisman Dowie. Receiving a ball in from Estrantonio with her back to goal, the 30-year-old left her marker Kennedy in her wake with a deft turn before firing a low-effort past Burke and into the bottom corner of the net for her 9th goal of the season and to make it 2-2. Victory could have then taken the lead in the 86th minute when a short corner routine led to a looping cross to the far post that was begging to be knotted in, only to fall between a waiting Molina Ayres and Johnson.